Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, still accompanied by the ever-lovely Zombie Huesitos and the Spooky Crew, and we're here for the second and last of the newest DVD hauls that I got. Brand spanking new this 2025. Yes, indeed. Super happy to have gotten these. These I got through a friend of mine that sells DVDs as a side hustle, and one that I got that I'm super excited about. And that one unfortunately did break my movie budget, but it was totally worth it. So let's get started, so as to not keep you too much in suspense. Finally got a copy on DVD of Terrifier 2. Oh, I like the Terrifier movies. Art the Clown has truly become a staple of the horror genre with his delightful glee in bringing the rampage and destruction that he does. We're up to number 3, and out of all the 4 movies if you count All Hallows Eve. But of the main Terrifiers, we've gotten 3. And I must say that this one is pretty good. A lot of people were complaining that it lasts longer and it kind of takes away some things could have been edited out. And number 3 takes this and ups it up even more. But I like 3 because it's set on Halloween, and something set on Halloween will always be a favorite of mine. But yes, super happy to get a copy of Terrifier 3. Now, there is an I think it's called the Art Attack set, which has all the Terrifier movies along with All Hallows Eve, and a really cool book and a whole bunch of special features. But I can't afford that. Unfortunately, Professor Macabro still is a humble, insane, crazy budget balla collector, so I can't really splurge, because I can't afford it, on big boutique releases. But I do want to get Terrifier 3 for sure in a physical media copy, because I really like that one. Also got this one. Super happy to get this one. When I was watching TV during the rise of the Fox network, I would watch this, if memory serves me right, on Saturday evenings. They would pass this show with the really cool intro, and Robert Stack would pop up, and he would showcase us a couple of stories of sometimes terror, sometimes unsolved mysteries, hence the name Unsolved Mysteries. And it would have a nice little mix of UFOs, of unsolved mysteries, unsolved murders, stories that would help America's Most Wanted, and ghost stories. And I really like that one. Needless to say, I was the bigger fan of the UFO stories or the ghost stories. And also, Unsolved Mysteries is what I attribute to making me a recluse when I was a younger teen. Because I would watch Unsolved Mysteries, and there was always a segment there like, and poor Jimmy McNutt went to a party and was never heard from again. And in my brain, I was like, holy shit, there sure are a lot of people that disappear in parties. I'm not gonna go to parties. And I didn't. So I blame Unsolved Mysteries because of that. But this is a complete set of the ghost episodes that they had in a really, really cool packaging with a really cool, shiny, metallic skull there. I love that. And it has all the ghost segments with the introduction with Robert Stack and a couple of special features. Really, really happy to get this set. There is another set with the UFO ones that I would like to get. But if I ever come across that, or my buddy is selling it, I'll definitely pick it up. Finally also added this one. I must say, I'm ashamed of myself that it took me this long to actually get a copy of RoboCop 2. Because I fucking love RoboCop 2. RoboCop 1 is, of course, debatably the superior movie, but RoboCop 2 kicks all sorts of ass. Yes, indeed, some really dark themes, like they off that kid that was selling the nuke, and all the failed experiments, which was kind of taken back in Iron Man 2 when they tried to reproduce the arc reactor technology, and you saw the video of all the dead people. But RoboCop 2 is just so much fun. Peter Weller comes back playing the character. There is a little bit of a disconnect between the first one and the second one, because at the end of the first one, RoboCop is his humanity is being restored more, and in this one, they kind of reset that. But still, fucking amazing movie. I love the titular RoboCop 2, which is the drugged-up Kane and the super body. Good stuff, and I'm ashamed that it took me so long to find a copy of this. But my RoboCop collection is now finally complete. Now I have all 3 RoboCop movies, RoboCop 1 in various different versions, and the remake. I just need to track down the TV shows. Speaking of TV shows, I also picked up Season 2 of The X-Files. Yes, indeed, another staple of the Fox network that I would watch when I was growing up. And I loved The X-Files, mostly because my huge crush on Agent Dana Scully, that sassy redhead that I really enjoyed. And I loved Agent Scully. I was like, ho ho ho, muy caliente. And she's still to this day. Gillian Anderson is fucking hot. But peak for me was Agent Dana Scully. And I really like this series. It had some really fucked up episodes, some really cool stuff, and overarching story, but good stuff. I do need to beef up my X-Files collection, because I am missing a number of series, but I specifically want to track down this particular box set, because they released a much cheaper looking set after this one, but this is the one that I want to track down. Also, finally completed my Mimic collection by getting Mimic 3 Sentinel. Yes, indeed. Mimic, of course, is one of Guillermo del Toro's big studio movies, and I love Mimic, and Mimic 2 was okay. And I remember seeing Mimic 3 the one time and thinking it wasn't that good. But I'm always happy to complete movie series collections, I should say, and I now finally completed my Mimic one. Also picked up Cobweb. I've heard a lot of good stuff from this one. I've heard it's really good, so I was really looking forward to buying a copy and checking it out. So Cobweb is now part of the collection. Next, this is, among other things that I actively collect, I am trying to collect all of these Tartan Asia Extreme DVD releases. What it would do is that it would bring movies from outside of the US, from Japan, Korea, and I think China also got a few, well, Hong Kong, not China, Hong Kong. And they would release it for the American market after the success of The Ring, you see. And this is one that I have, unfortunately, I'm sorry to say, I have the American remake, which of course followed that trend of the North American Hollywood machine, taking a movie that is good and then Americanizing, sometimes completely losing the point. Sometimes it works, most of the time it doesn't. But I've been hunting for the original version of this in the Tartan Asia Extreme set, and that is Shudder. Yes, indeed. The one that's kind of like Fatal Frame, where they take pictures of the ghosties, and there's this one guy that's always like, my back is always hurting, and I keep doing exercise and wanting to lose weight, but I always have overweight, and it turns out because he has a ghost chick on his back. That would suck. More physical media porn for you. Yes, indeed. But I really like the original Shudder. It's really creepy cool, and it's a rage ghost, someone that gets wronged by a bunch of fuckers, and now she's looking for revenge, as you do. But yes, highly recommend this version, and not the American remake, which is not as good. It's not the worst American remake I've seen, but this one is better. It sets up the mood a lot better. And the last one, as my fellow budget baller brother Pat from Half Cheetah Will View would say, is the centerpiece of the haul. It's one that I've been dying to add to my collection because it's one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. Yes, indeed, this is tied with Return of the Living Dead as my all-time favorite zombie movies. And there are now a lot better sets. They came out with a Blu-ray. Did they come out with a Blu-ray set? No, I don't think. It only came out until afterwards. A really cool Blu-ray set. And then they came out with this super expensive Ultimate Edition that's now out of print. But for the longest time, this was out of print. And it was the must-get version of this particular movie. And that is the Dawn of the Dead Ultimate Edition collection with the nice black and red colors, which, as I've mentioned before, red and black is my color scheme, so anything that has that gets extra awesome points in my book. But this beautiful set was out of print for many, many years, and it was a real shame because this thing has the original cut of Dawn of the Dead, the theatrical cut, and the European cut, as well as a whole disc dedicated to special features and a comic book. So this, I own Dawn of the Dead in VHS and 2 different cuts on DVD. But I wanted this one because, again, of the red and black color scheme, which I'm a big fan of. And because this has all the 3 sets in widescreen presentation. For the longest time, this was my white whale as far as movie collecting. But now that I finally have it, oh, yes, I'm touching myself tonight, I tell you what. Indeed, this is an awesome set. Super grateful that I was able to finally get to the collection. And now my last 2 remaining holy grails to get are the Book of the Dead editions of Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. The ones that look like the foamy Necronomicons. But yes, it feels so good to want something for so many years and finally own it. There's this phrase that says that if you live long enough, everything you ever wanted will eventually be yours. And let me tell you, I'm turning into an old motherfucker. So, yes, eventually that phrase proves through because I finally got this baby. And I can't wait to pop this in and enjoy all the Dawn of the Dead goodness, huh? It's such a sense of euphoria to be able to finally scratch at that name off my hunt list. Needless to say, this is my centerpiece, my jewel of this haul. Yes, indeed. But have you seen or owned this particular set? Have you seen any of the other stuff that I showcased? Let us know in the comments down below. But until we see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro. That is my ever-faithful zombie huesitos and the spooky crew, and we wish you all, like always, a good evening.